What is the meaning of equality? Do you know? Every person is equal before the law if she is poor or rich and male or female. Let's see the story of Kanta. On election day, Kanta and Sujata waiting to cast their votes. Kanta say, "Isn't it good, Sujata? We can all vote as equal citizens of our country. Even Jain Sahib standing in line with us." Sujata says, "Yes." Sujata says, "Go on, Kanta, it's your turn now." Kanta vote to whose person who promised to bring pipe water to her area. After some time, Jain Sahib went to at home. Kanta says, "Gudiya has suffering from fever, so I have to take her to the hospital, but the first I ask for some advance." At home, Kanta says to Gudiya, "Here, have some of this, you will feel better. When I came back, we will go to hospital." In Sahib house, Jain madam says, "Make sure to clean the corners properly." After cleaning the home, Kanta asks about the advance and Jain madam gives the advance and says, "Don't make the habit of it." Do you know what is universal adult franchise? What is universal adult franchise? It means whose age is 18 and above have right to vote irrespective of their social and economic backgrounds. Underline and note the extra questions of this chapter. I will note it like this. Universal adult franchise means whose age is 18 and above have right to vote irrespective of social and economic backgrounds. Now let us read about the Dalit child whose name is Om Prakash Valmiki. Dalit means broken, and by using this word, lower castes are pointing to how they were and continue to be seriously discriminated against. Let's start from the story of Om Prakash Valmiki. Om Prakash Valmiki, 1950 to 2013. It means he birthed on 1950 and died on 2013. Is the famous Dalit writer. He writes the book of Chuthan. He had to sit away from the others in class, and that too on the floor. Sometimes he have to sit near the door. Sometimes they beat him without any reason. The headmaster says to sweep the school and playground. He also not allowed to drink water. Also not the one sip. The second story is about the religion, Mr. and Mrs. Ansaris. Underline this one. The second story is about the religion, Mr. and Mrs. Ansaris. Let's start. Mr. and Mrs. Ansari are finding an apartment for rent. They went to property dealer to help to find the apartment. They had money, so paying the rent was no problem. The first apartment, and the Ansaris liked it very much and decided to take this apartment for rent. But when the landlady found their names, and then she makes an excuse not to give the apartment to both Ansaris. It was also repeated in second and third apartment. Finally, the property dealer told them to change their names and call themselves Mr. and Mrs. Kumar. The Ansaris ignore it and decide to look some more apartments. In the end, it took a whole month to find the apartment. They found a lady who was ready to give them a place for rent. Do you know what is dignity? It means we have to do respect of our young and adult, if they are rich or poor, the male or female. The Ansaris' dignity was also hurt when persons not gave the apartment to them. What is the meaning of constitution? The Indian Constitution recognizes that every person is equal. It means that every individual person from any caste, religion, educational, and economic background are recognized as equal. The untouchability was also abolished. What is the midday meal program? What is the midday meal program? In the Indian Constitution recognizes that every person is equal. It means that every individual person from any caste, religion, educational, and economic background are recognized as equal. The untouchability was also abolished. What is the midday meal program? Tamil Nadu was the first state to start this scheme. In 2001, Supreme Court asked to all the state government to begin this program in their schools within 6 months. Dalit women have been employed to cook the meal. Live in those places where you get your live in those places where you get your self-respect. Without it, a man is a cipher, means not. Now I am presenting the story of Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks 1930 to 2005 was an African American woman. Tired from a long day at work, she refused to give up her seat to a white man on 1st December 1955. She started a movement against the inequality in which African Americans were treated. The movement is known as Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 discriminated on the basis of the religion or national origin. She changed the history of African Americans. What is democracy? Democracy is the What is democracy? Democracy is by the people, for the people, and to the people. It is the rule people choose their representatives by their votes. Thank you.